I'm your host, Mitch Hackelman, and in today's Casual Friday video, we're going to be assembling the M880 from Flyer. Well, I'm not going to be assembling it. Brian's going to be assembling it. So when you normally get bikes, do you normally unbox them in front of the customers, or sometimes they're already made up?
No, normally they come 80% built in the box, so it's a matter of if they want to stick around and watch. But yeah, most of the time the customers just relax back at their house while I'm out here doing my thing. Pretty decent packaging, lots of bubble wrap, nice and protected.
Yeah, lots of bubble wrap. I don't know if we normally see bubble wrap. So if somebody were to get one of these bikes, or just any bike that comes direct to consumer, how do you recommend them going about taking all this stuff off? Because like a lot of times we'll use, knives or little things. Is it better to use clippers?
Oh yeah, clippers are just easier, mostly because they're just mobile and easier to handle.
Okay. So a lot of times with these different bikes, I see a lot of the manufacturers are telling them, keep the box, keep the package, just in case they got to do any sort of returns. Is there a good way if they were going to do that? Do you see a lot of returns on these bikes?
Not really. I would say out of all the bikes I've done, maybe I've had to do one return.
Okay.
Yeah, out of like the 50 or so that I've handled with.
Okay.
I start by putting the handlebars on first, so
okay.
After I unwrap it, take all the packaging off. So I'm going to put the handlebar on first, then I'll mess with the front tire, so all I can do is just mess with the front section at a time, and then I move towards the back of the bike.
Okay.
Yeah, there's parts that are grayish gunmetal, and then there's black definitely between right here in the middle.
That is cool. So how many calls do you guys normally have on a typical day?
About 3 appointments a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you say it's mostly like repairs or new bike setups or?
No, most of them, yeah, are just like general small repairs or just tune-ups.
You guys have different packages for that, the tune-ups?
Yeah, so we started at silver, then we got gold and platinum.
Okay.
So gold is the most popular, and with that, that's basically comes with the drivetrain clean of the bike. So we take apart the whole drivetrain, take off the chain, the cassette, the cranks, and then we got a nice parts washer hidden up in here. So
okay.
Supersonic parts washer, throw the parts in there, clean them up for you, put it back on the bike, and then finally tune it.
That's nice. Probably my least favorite thing to do is tune a derailleur.
Oh yeah.
For sure. You ever find anything weird in a bike box? Like something like for sure wasn't supposed to be there?
No, other than I have had a cockroach pop out of one before, so that wasn't fun. I just want to put a little bit of grease on the pedal spindles.
Okay.
That way they don't rust up that easily. So shifting pretty good, don't have to really mess with that, luckily. There's a little bit of brake rubbing that I like to get rid of, which you can hear just by the rotor tapping the brake pad right there, just a little bit of rubbing. So, see what we can do about that.
Okay. So one of the most common tools, or one of the most common tricks I see when people are doing that when they're trying to align the calipers up, is they'll loosen both the bolts back there and then they pull the brake.
Squeeze the brake.
Is that the most that's the best way to do it?
That's the good way to start. That's what I'm about to do as well.
Okay.
So that's a good starting point to it. Just a slight bend in the rotor, which I'm just going to fix with the rotor bending tool.
Okay.
Other than that, it's nice and centered now.
So right now you're just kind of bending the rotor back a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit straighter.
So it's just a little bit warped. The barrel adjuster. Just add a little bit more tension so it could slide up to those easier gears. There we go. See that it's just having slight hesitation shifting, then I'll just do barrel adjuster because normally it's just cable tension that's the issue.
Okay.
But if it's either having issues getting into your hardest gear, the smallest cog, or the easiest gear, your biggest cog, then that is definitely a limit screw issue.
Okay.
And that's where you mess with your highs and lows there. But if it's shifting and it can hit all the gears, just doing a little bit of slow shifting, then yeah, you just mess with the barrel adjuster. So I like the display on this one's pretty nice and bright. You don't really get them that bright. So that's nice, like on the little left-hand side. Easy on and off power switch on the left.
Yeah.
Got brake lights that work.
Nice.
To turn on this front headlight, you're going to hold down the little plus button here on your controller.
Okay.
And voila. And it comes with a very bright headlight. This is one of the brightest ones I've actually seen on e-bikes too. Yeah, I like the throttle control on there, so once you just want to start coasting and cruising, just twist the throttle and you're ready to go.
Okay, so if somebody were new to e-bikes, let's say, I'm an older gentleman and I haven't ridden bikes in 20 years, is there like some specific things that you talk to them about as far as like maybe this is their first e-bike and they haven't ridden in a while?
Yeah, I would just make sure that they are familiar with the brakes, which side controls which on here. So your right side controls the rear, left the front, and I always tell them to use the front a little bit lighter because you don't want to really slam on your front brake because these are disc brakes. So it provides a lot of stopping power. And how the gears function, some of them have different gear levers, so mechanisms. This one's pretty easy with the simple top and bottom one right there.
Yeah.
And then yeah, just teaching the different modes on here on their little power unit. Yeah. Other than that, it's a matter of adjusting the seat height and the handlebar pivot for the rider, which I can put the bike down and we can do that.
Okay. It's definitely got this sort of like cool, sleek vibe. The other thing I like about this one is, I guess up here when all of these tubes are coming in there, you don't really see the welds. It looks very nice. It looks very like one big piece. Very slick. So then, as far as the fit, what do you normally do?
So seat height is the first thing I would do.
Okay.
So this is called the quick release one. Just pop that open, and we can adjust up and down.
And this looks a little bit thicker than normal.
Yeah, this is
right?
definitely a heavier duty one, so that's nice. This is a nice quality seat post.
Okay.
So up on there, see how you feel. So all I do is hold this for you, hold the brakes. Then I'd say get your feet on there, and then you want to put one of those down there to the lowest point.
Okay.
And you're looking for a slight bend in the leg. So in the knee, you want about like a 30-degree bend. Nothing super sharp. So here, I would say that's about like 45, maybe a little bit more. So we can raise the seat post up if he's comfortable with it.
Okay.
If not, right there is also a good enough point. And then from that, I would say come out and reach out here to your bars, and then we can adjust here on the neck of the stem if you want them closer to you or further out. I would want them to have fairly straight arms and a little slight bend to them just so it could help with shock absorption, and you're not out there reaching too far in front of you. So here we have a chance to raise it a little bit closer to you, so it'll be a little bit more up close. Finish it up a little bit like that.
Okay.
And I would say you're good for a ride.
Okay. Yeah. No, that feels really good.
Awesome.
Feels super solid. And then, yeah, having the step through, it's like,
Yeah, nice to
lots
get
of room.
off just an emergency or something like that as well.
yeah, that feels very good. I feel like it's been set up and it's ready to roll at this point.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Well, Brian, I really appreciate it. Thank you for setting the bike up for us.
no problem.
And we're looking forward to the review. So guys, stay tuned for the review. It's going to come up in just a little bit.